So, people come to me and they ask me, Dave, what are you playing? And I tell them, right now, I'm playing Spirits. This game just came out for Windows and Linux and Android, all the three platforms that I use, right today, August 15th, 2012, thanks in part to the newest Humble Indie bundle for Android. I was super quick to pick that up because, well, I am an Android dev and I happen to have plans for game development. So, and must say, I am pleasantly surprised with this game. This game actually came out previously on Mac, I'm guessing on the Mac App Store for some amount of time ago. I don't know. I don't own a Mac. I never will. And now I happen to see what this game's about. This game, for those who do not know of Spirits, and that would be pretty much mostly everybody, since Macs are still in the minority here, Spirits could best be described as a very stylized version of Lemmings. And if you never played Lemmings growing up on the SNES or Sega Genesis, you've missed out. But yeah, let's just dive right into the game, and you'll definitely get to see some of the style here, although I'm actually kind of curious about the... Yeah, okay, that's all fine. So yeah, let's go check out Spirits. You will see a nice little cutscene. I love the music for this game. It's very thematically appropriate. It's very general. And no, that isn't just my frame rate sucking. That's just how they animate this. Although Fraps is saying that the frame rate is being pretty bad here. But yeah, if I can pause the game for a moment so I can talk. The game itself, well, is, like I said, stylized version of Lemmings. As you see here, we have our little nature spirits here. That's why the game is called Spirits, and that they come out of these piles of leaves here. And our goal is to guide them safely to the exit. I probably should note, even though that the reason I'm starting from the beginning is that I mostly played the Android version. And, well, the game is pretty much the same, and looks like the game's pretty much the same as far as I can tell between the two versions. So yeah, if we can click on one of our spirits here, they will give us four options as to what skills we can give them. Just like in Lemmings, some of them are locked out for certain stages. So we happen to have like the ability to turn them into a cloud to kind of blow out wind gusts, have them tunnel through things, have them build little steps, and I have not gotten to what this fourth one is, right between the tunnel and the cloud blowing. So this stage is only giving us the blow command, so let's go ahead and have him start blowing. Unpause. We can do this in real time too if we want to, but it's probably just easier. So yeah, game's relatively straightforward. It's overall definitely one of my favorite puzzle games. And like I said, it's modeled after probably one of my favorite puzzle games of my youth here. I should note one thing is that these guys will only happen to be... You can only give them commands while they're on the ground. If you try to do something while they're in the air, nothing will really happen. Well, unless you're going for 100%. As you see, they do kind of try to judge you to see if you can get 100% completion on certain stages for certain reasons. And some of these 100% completion challenges are definitely up there in challenges. They're definitely a little tricky, but I've still haven't worked out the solution for all of them. But I have been enjoying this game thusly, so let's go on to the next level. I can show you a little bit more. So if I pause right here, we can get another pan through of the whole area. So far, this one, well, branching paths, just to kind of get you familiar. There will be some stages where you will have to split up the group if you played Lemming, or sometimes the spawns will be separate. If you've played Lemmings, all this will seem familiar to you. So let's go ahead and start having this guy blowing some gusts of wind to get our little nature spirits up in the air here. And then we can go ahead, wait for them to kind of get up on here, blow up this way, and think upwards. And that should be enough to get them all right, well, except for one little guy who seems to be a little flummoxed. If if they hit a wall, they'll just drop straight down. Come on, little guys. I think you can do it. There we go. Yeah, and of course, there'll be more than apt to tell you how many are left in the stage and how much you need for just basic completion. But I'm a perfectionist, and getting 100% completion is hard. Now, this game, I've played, like, on the Android version, I've played up to level 21. There were 47 levels, so, yeah. Okay, so that, they give us a really low bar for perfect completion there, and, oh, wait, actually, no, I really botched that one. I know I got that on the Android version. Whatever, I'll probably keep playing it mostly on my phone rather than, actually playing it on Steam. Even though Steam, I'm sure it has Steam Cloud syncing and all that. I haven't really checked, to be honest. Like I said, this has mostly just been a fun distraction on my phone, and puzzle games like this are really good on a phone. It's very easy to just pick up and play here. All right, now obviously this stage is called Grow. They give us slightly different tools for this one. Instead, we can kind of create a little staircase out of plants. Again, similar to Lemmings, where you can suddenly have these anthropomorphic lemmings start building stairs out of, like, I'm guessing just poop. I have no idea where they're pulling it out of. And oh yeah, that's another thing that's needed for 100% completion. Well, you know what? Let's restart this level so I can get 100%, and I can actually show you what that entails. As you can see here, there's like a little glowing seedling here, and obviously for all the stages that require 100% completion, it's more than just getting all of your guys to the end, and that does mean every single last one of them. It also kind of involves a little bit of making sure you find all these little seedlings and having your nature spirits cause them to bloom. And so, yeah, that's half the reason why 100% completion can be such a bear for this game. As I've said, I've talked about, it's a great game. As someone who grew up and played a lot of Lemmings on his Genesis way back in the day, I was a lucky kid to happen to have both an SNES and the Genesis, so I got to enjoy the best of both worlds. Although it felt like near the end it was mostly just SNES. I guess that's probably just me. But yeah, and they introduced... One thing I can at least give this game credit for is that it knows how to slowly introduce mechanics here, so let's go ahead and see what is required here. Get out of the way, announcements. God damn you, Destructoid. But yeah, they are more than quick to slowly introduce all the mechanics. I'm still not sure what that fourth one is, even though I'm like 20 levels in, and I just kind of noticed this tech detail doesn't really come out well on my phone, little tiny phone there with its HD screen, but those look like Boy Scout badges or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, they happen to introduce spikes in this game, so yeah, your nature spirits can die under certain conditions. They usually float, so it's not like you're gonna have them suddenly die because you ended up like letting them just fall to their death because you let them fall too far. They're not lemmings. They actually can survive long falls of infinite height. So don't worry about that. Although there will be the spikes, the obviously Cave Story inspired spikes, and they are inspired by Cave Story. Don't try to argue with me on that. They actually have a stage in this game called Cave Story. And one called Earthbound, so at least I know the devs here happen to have good taste in RPGs. But there's some challenges here, and but most of my playthrough of this has just been finding getting just the completion simple. I'm gonna be a little cruel bastard, kill this guy, and more or less just trying to get 100% is where the difficulty really lies here. So, I do love this game, mostly just because of the fact that it reminds me of Lemmings, but also it gets everything right as far as aesthetic. Everything from the mechanics, like what power-ups you can actually give your guys here, actually, well, it all largely falls onto the aesthetics here. I mean, you could just let them. You could just. Like in Lemmings, like they were doing things that really didn't make any sense for Lemmings, other than the fact that these guys were anthropomorphic. I mean, they were building staircases out of who knows what. They were like acting as like traffic guards and miners, and hell, they even acted as suicide bombers. Yes, that is not a joke. They acted like suicide bombers from some areas. I do not understand. To this day, I am still unsure as to why they chose suicide bombers. Yes, they introduced digging here. Let's go ahead, tunnel down a bit. That's not going to be good for perfect completion here. Let's restart. And yeah, like I said, this game happens to get so much right as far as aesthetics. I mean, the music just fits perfectly for the game. It's not like overly synthetic. It's not overly reliant on like synthesizers or anything stupid like that. It's simple and it does what it needs to do. I just realized now I remember how I solved this one my first time. You gotta wait for them to get over here, then dig downward at an angle. There we go. And then from here, no, we gotta wait till one lands perfectly. Dig outward, and the gust of wind should flow right out of the little hole we made for them, and that should push them all through and get all the plants along the way. Yeah, that's simple. But yeah, like I said, the game happens to do aesthetics just right. Everything from the abilities you can grant your little nature spirits, to the music, to the level design. It's like it all screams, and like even that one little cutscene at the beginning. This is a game that knows it's about nature. It's about the world we live in, the natural world, and it doesn't try to tinker with that by giving you the option of setting all your Lemmings to just self-destruct at the same time, which, by the way, was still hilarious in Lemmings. But outside of that, this game is overall very simplistic. Oh yeah, this one. I remember this one. I still don't know how I was supposed to get the perfect solution on this one. Let's start out by digging outward. Oh yeah, and that's something that I could not find at all in the Android version, is a way to speed it up. Here, at least I'm guessing they're still relying on like some kind of hardware key to do that. Here, at least on the PC, they're considerate enough to let me kind of rush the game if need be. I have no idea why they didn't do that. And yeah, I'm still not sure how I'm supposed to get 100% completion on this one. I think this is the right solution, but I always end up missing this last seedling down here, and then they all just end up just getting blown over into here. And this is like the first puzzle that actually kind of stumped me as far as getting 100%. I mean, the solution to complete is relatively easy here. You can see it right here and let these guys just speed up. But yeah, there's no penalty for like failing to complete a puzzle. You just have to kind of just start over. And yeah, I like this game, and it's definitely and it was definitely worth picking up in the Humble Indie bundle. But I probably would have picked it up solo. But I picked it up like in the Android market without the Humble Indie bundle alerting me to its presence. This is definitely a game that I'm probably gonna play for a good bit here. So let's do one more stage, though. One more stage just to kind of get a good idea here. Yeah, this one kind of is a little deceptive. I mean, they throw like a giant pit of spikes at the bottom, but if you look carefully, you can kind of also see that there's also wind coming up inside that pit of spikes. And as we've seen before, you happen to break open a little hole for the wind to break through, and then your guys will just be able to float through. So we dig downward. They'll try to jump into the pit to their death, and instead just get blown upward right to our finish. The controls for the PC versions feel about as simplistic as the Android version, outside the fact that the Android version is, for some bizarre reason, missing out on the ability to fast forward. and I don't know why. You figure that they'd include a button in there somewhere for that, but I guess considering they must have made this in, I don't know, in like Mono or libgdx. I have no idea. I'm not the developer, so I'm just speculating here based on my own personal knowledge. Let's do one more level. I feel like this one, where they start to introduce the fact that you have that they can spawn from multiple areas. Again, like Lemmings, but in this case, it's not as much havoc, since these guys will likely, since, you actually know what you're doing here. And, again, these early stages seem simple enough. They get more complicated, especially if you're going for 100% completion. I'm still not too sure how I'm supposed to... I'm still not too sure how I can get the timing right to complete Cave Story. That is actually the stage I'm currently stuck on. Although they let you skip stages if you restart too many times, so that's nice of them. It's considerate that they don't want people to get stuck. Let's fast forward through this one. I think you can easily see that I managed to get the perfect solution here. And I happen to like the little glow that it gives when you fast forward. It's nice. Very serene in its own right. So yeah, let's just head back to the title screen here, so that way you can wrap this up. And that's Spirits in a nutshell, to be honest. It's definitely a very fun little puzzle game. Very interesting. Definitely makes you think about the... And if you're going for 100% completion, well, good luck to you. That is definitely a very uphill battle. But yeah, let's see here. Are there more stages here in the PC version? Yeah, there. See, Cave Story, Earthbound. Can't tell if there's any other ones named after after. No, 40. Okay, so it's 46 stages. I need to recheck my phone. I'm pretty sure there was 47 in the Android version, or that might have just been something they did. But and yeah, no other obvious game references here. I guess they only went with ones that could fit with their thematics. Again, showing how much care they put into the aesthetic here. They could have put in all the references to all of their favorite video games, and instead they only chose two that have to actually work with its nature theme, which is Earthbound and Cave Story. Lucky for them, those are two really good games. But yeah, that's Spirits. And so, like I said, I enjoyed it immensely. Definitely worth picking it up. Right now, it's, I don't know the price of what, I'm not sure of the price on Steam. I'm guessing $10. Just what, I'll probably add it in later. I'll probably edit it in later, with some subtitles or something. But yeah, but as of right now, you can pick it up in the Humble Indie Bundle for Android 3. So name your own price there, get that. Uplink, BitTrip Beat, Space Chem, and Space Chem and crap. What was the fifth one? I know I installed it here. No, Oh yeah. Oh, and Field Runners. So yeah, you can pick all those up with the Humble Indie Bundle. Spirit is the which I just showed you here is the beat the average. So, and it's definitely worth beating the average. I will say that much. I've easily found myself my new favorite puzzle game here. It does so much right, and it's a really easy game to just chill out to, just because of the choices they made in the aesthetic. So yeah, I'm Dave, and that's what I've been playing. Take care, everybody.